the fuck do we do now?
Hello and welcome back. Today we have a replay from one of our Clan War games. And as you could see on the lineup, we are facing a pretty interesting enemy team.
Well, they go around.
They are running 2 Liangs, 3 Akizukis, and then Vladivostok as the BB. Now being tier 8 this season of Clan Wars and only 6 versus 6, we are seeing quite a few heavy DD teams. Seeing only one DD is actually quite rare, and often you see 2, 3, and then at times 4, or like here 5.
Well, we need to stay
And especially the Akizukis, but also to some extent the Kievs, are really good at taking down cruisers quickly. The cruisers at tier 8 have less tools to deal with DDs than at tier 8. And with the raw gunpowder of the Akizukis, no cruiser can really stand up for too long. And fielding a couple of those is a major issue. Of course, it's not a beat-all solution, but it is tricky and requires some different playstyles from our team when we face such setup. Now, for me as a battleship player, this is especially annoying, not because they do massive amount of damage to me, since I am playing Vladivostok and it is really tanky, but mostly because it is difficult for me to do any substantial damage to them, and my reload is just way too long to be an effective counter against them. Plus they're small and annoying, and battleship dispersion doesn't exactly help. And also normally you would like the BB to be a bit further back and deal heavy damage to cruise and battleships. Doing that against small DDs is not really a good option. Another issue is that I've found, or at least my feeling is, that Vladivostok HE is really underwhelming. So even if I hit 1 or 2 shells, they don't do too much damage. Unless I happen to be shooting at Kiev, because on those I can quite easily get 7k salvos. Nevertheless, I do start with HE, but as we will see in a bit, I will actually change that to just run AP after an encounter with the battleship. Simply because an Overparent 2 basically does the same amount of damage as the HE does. We are seeing though that the enemy team is heavily focusing the south and managed to take out Bolsh in the Atago. They only have 1 Loyang over here to maybe sneak a cap or at least delay us. And with that knowledge, I don't really have an issue pushing in as hard as I'm doing, and I probably should have pushed a bit harder, but when I was still going in, I was giving broadside to the normal battleship position and didn't really want to risk eating a large salvo from him. So I take a bit took a bit longer
Well, look, how have you taken so much
route than
damage?
I intended.
Well, you're dead, dude. Why do you ask me if I take so much damage? It's
We
for
see in the
you.
south we are having some issues with constant firing of Takizukis,
I smoked
and
you.
with the Loyang there's also a possibility
I
to
smoked for you guys, so you can shoot the fucking DD.
be spotting
There's no point in smoking me.
even Warlock in Takizuki.
Well, there was.
Vladivostok is pushing towards the cap, and
Well,
he is obviously my main target.
wasn't in any smoke, was I?
So I'm trying to push around the island in a safe manner so that I can ideally get a broadside while still
Yeah, but
maintaining a
opening
good
up
amount of
outside
angling.
DDs, you're just wasting your HP.
Sadly, he is turning in,
Waste.
and instead I shoot at
I'm
Akizuki
gonna get the new smoke
to
in
get some additional damage.
10 seconds.
Now ramming in tier 8 in Clan Wars is sadly a way too common way to get rid of battleships.
I am spotting it.
So that is more or less what I expect to have to do. So I focus the DDs with my guns and try to make sure that I can run in and kill the Vladivostok with a ram. Here's how I forced to give me broadside a bit to avoid some torps, and I managed to get a good hit on him.
Tell me that it's using radar.
Hit one torp, and I am still expecting a ram here. But seeing as we are having issues with the DDs, I am taking a chance when he decides to turn away instead of continue towards me. It was a bit of a misplay from him, and I just tried to get my guns off as I sailed by him, and I managed to delete him.
Nice.
As I said, very risky, because had he saved his salvo, he could have done the same to me. And I could have messed it up and not killed him, and would have been as much of an issue as anything else. So yeah, risky, but this time it definitely paid off. So I managed to get BB killed. And now I have a couple of DDs in front of me. I failed to shoot at the Loyang. I held my shots a bit too long, so instead I focused on Akizuki, while we managed to kill another one. So even though we had quite a bad start, we are coming back. My secondaries finish another Akizuki, and the enemy's down to just 2 ships, and well, as you can understand, we will win this game. Enemy Loyang looks like he will actually try to go for the ram to take me out, but my guns reload and I have enough time to turn them on him and delete him. So yeah, while a high DD setup is tricky to deal with, it is not a beat-all solution, and you still need to be smart about it. Otherwise you will end up like this clan too, which is basically a complete loss.
It's not a blame, but we are talking like that, relax.
So hopefully learn from that and are smarter than this.
That's a good point.
No, but I just wanted to know where Warlock